I never used to date any girl called Masika. Now, if you're not familiar, among the Bakonzo, every name carries a meaning. The Bakonzo or the Baira is an indigenous tribe in Western Uganda who names their children according to their birth order. You've probably heard the name Baluku, Mumbere, Masika while interacting with people from Kasese. I never used to date anyone called Masika when I was a teenager because Masika is the firstborn daughter among the Bakonzo or the Baira of Western Uganda. And for us as teenagers, when you dated someone, on their birthday, you had to buy them a gift. And then if they had siblings on their birthdays, you had to buy them gifts. So, or if their siblings got sick, or like any one of their siblings got sick, you had to go see them at the hospital and buy them gifts. We would call it packing when we were teenagers. And so I didn't have much money as a teenager. And so to avoid going into unnecessary expenses, I avoided dating girls called Masika, because the moment I heard you're called Masika, I assumed you have many siblings who follow you. So it was my way of selecting out people who were, it was my way of selecting out which people to date and which people not to date. Now, these small details, you see, of meeting a stranger and asking them, hey, what's your name? And they tell me, you know, I'm Masika, was enough to give me information about their family and whether or not I should date them. Well, this small anecdote from my personal experience is evidence that the Bakonzo names carry meaning. The Bakonzo name their children according to birth order. So if you hear Baluku, it means that's the eldest boy at home. If you hear Masika, that means that's the eldest daughter at home. And if you hear, let's say, Kabuo, that's probably a third-born child who is a girl. And so on and so forth. I'd appeal to the UN agency responsible for designating cultural heritage to designate the names of the Bakonzo as a UN heritage, because they are unique. If I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Baira Bakonzo are probably the only tribe in Uganda whose names can tell you something about someone before they tell you anything about themselves. For example, you probably didn't know that Baluku is a firstborn child. So yeah, that's how I used to select girls who I should date and those I couldn't date.